What is going on? I am super excited. I got my girl with me, Miss Nina Moore, guys, multiple seven-figure earner, guys, not just in the network marketing space, but period, right? And her story is so inspiring. So we're super excited about this 1 Million Empowerment Summit. We broke it down in sessions because I feel like these ladies have so much to say. We do a lot of interview style. People are rushed, but you don't really get the nuggets. And so, Nina, listen, we're super excited to hear from you. Super excited that you have brought your expertise into the 1 million movement to help us leverage this time that we're in right now to get a bunch of powerhouses to work together for a common cause. And so we're saying we're walking to millions, but so much more is happening. And I'm just so excited about it. I'm so excited to have people like yourself to hold me accountable, people like the Twyla Portises, Rosalind Hall. We've got a whole bunch of Whitneys. We got a whole bunch of folks, but I was harping on three things in session one that I really want to talk about. And we're talking about creating leaders and creating some people who have some influence and are actually helping people out. And I said one of the number one things that I truly do believe causes a great amount of influence is that when people remember their younger self and they coach and train that girl or that man or whoever it is. I want to go back to your childhood and I want to know, what does who you were back then have to do with who you have become today? What was the moment that shifted everything for you? So just give us a little details about that.
Well, first, I'm excited to be here.
Yes.
And when you said you were doing this, I said, "Oh yeah, you got to give everybody their space. They
Yes,
we
you
need
did.
space to
Yes.
talk.
Yes, you
Because
did.
we always feel like we're kind of overstepping each other, like
For
and
sure.
I leave space. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Wow, to talk about what I talk about myself when I say her versus me,
You do.
right? And I think it's important for us to remember who we were because we have sympathy and empathy and compassion for people when we remember who we were. So oftentimes when I see somebody going through something, I revert back to who I was and I try to remember what I felt like, what I like. So today on my live, this was funny that you would say that. I was talking about, I prayed for specifically for obesity and for people who are plagued in it, right? And the prayer that I had about that was that the Lord would heal the weights that bind them, not the physical weights.
That's right.
Not the manifestation of the abandonment, the manifestation of the molestation, the manifestation of the abuse, the mental, verbal, physical abuse, the manifestation of all of those things that manifest in obesity. And so when I think about who I was, I know that I have the heart for people today that I have because I felt so abandoned and all alone. There were times that people were all around me and I still felt like nobody understood me. And what I now realize as an adult and someone who invest a lot of time in personal development is when you're just kind of like different and you don't fit in and you're trying to be a square peg trying to fit in a circle because you think you're supposed to fit into the circle. And I had to get comfortable with being a square peg and not fitting into most circles because when you're called, right? And the problem with being called is oftentimes because you're comparing yourself to what you see around you. You don't know that you're called because you don't think you're qualified.
That's right.
And then through personal development, which is why I love what we do, because I 100% believe it is what has made me who I am today. Learning through personal development and through the word of God that God doesn't call the qualified, but he qualifies the called. And so I'm grateful to be called and chosen and to be able to have compassion and grace for people because of where I was.
So when you say that, which is a lot, and it's true, a lot of people do look around them and they don't see anyone. It seems like they're in a world by themselves because they can't find anyone to relate to. So now let's talk about that. in that experience, and there's people who are watching this now that feels like that. What was your aha moment? What word or influence or whatever happened that allowed you to be able to identify that it was nothing wrong with you, that you were just chosen and you had a different oil on you, as we would say? What happened? Do you remember any pinnacle moment?
I don't think it's one thing that
Okay.
happened,
Mhm.
but I do believe that when I joined back in 2008,
Mhm.
when I was able to tell my story
Mhm.
and didn't feel shame or guilt after telling the story, I felt
Mhm.
empowered.
Okay.
I was now able to look at my situation from outside of the situation,
Mhm.
because for all of those years I was in the situation.
Mhm.
I was in it.
Mhm.
And you cannot see the picture when you're in the frame.
That's right.
So
That's
once I was able to actually share my story and people
right.
wanted to hear, how did you go from wanting to take your life and not really feeling like there was any value because you had disgraced your family, so to speak?
Mhm.
I'm a bishop's daughter. I done had one,
Mhm.
not one baby, but two. Then
Mhm.
my marriage ends up in divorce, and look at me now. I feel like the scarlet letter, and I just felt like I was wearing all of that guilt and shame. But then I was able to speak on it. I'm going through a divorce, and I didn't know how I was going to make ends meet, and now I'm figuring it out. And started to now rise above the situation. And when you're looking at the situation, you actually start to see, girl, you didn't give yourself enough grace. Like the fact that you are
Right.
not rocking in a chair
Right.
somewhere.
Right.
It's,
Right. Right.
it's a story.
Right. 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 Right.
But because we feel that there's so many, when you are who you are, the chosen
Mhm.
have no choice.
Right.
When you are who you
Right.
are, you feel like there's this stigma, like you always have to like we weren't the pastors, but we felt like we were,
Of
because
course.
kids get the biggest,
For sure. For
biggest. So
sure.
yeah, I not a moment, but guess what, Stanisha, still today, I make the decision every single day
Mhm.
to be a good person, to
That's
be a
right.
healthy person.
That's right.
It wasn't one day that I made a decision to lose 175 pounds.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's every day I
I
get
love
up
it.
and I say, I gotta be on this side of
I
life.
love it. So I was just talking to Rosin about that, and she was saying how the way that she was able to buy into anything of transformation is taking it one day at a time. And so you're talking the same thing, taking it one day at a time. So now I want to, because we want to empower 1 million people to truly believe they can go big. We want to empower 1 million people to truly believe that better version of you can chase after it and you can go get it and not be shamed about it. What, even when you were telling your story and that released you from the embarrassment or whatever of the story, what made you feel you were worth more? What happened in your brain to make you think you should go try to make $1 million? What happened?
Right, because
Right,
definitely
because where is that coming from?
it's
Yeah.
mindful.
Right.
The crazy thing about it, Tanisha, is as a little girl, I remember growing up knowing, like, and feeling like I was going to be rich, that
Mhm.
I wanted fine, nice things. I
That's right.
wanted to eat at the nice
That's
restaurant.
right. Mhm.
And as my journey into personal development, when I really started to get a love for books and
Mhm.
the environment of
Mhm.
growth,
That's
right?
right.
The environment of growth.
Mhm.
Um, I started to realize that abundance really is my birthright. And
Okay.
the problem is that we think that we have to go be something, or that
Mhm.
we're looking for something else outside of ourselves.
Mhm.
But I realized, just because I really started to really understand the word of God for me, for myself, and in really pairing that with a lot of personal development
Mhm.
and journaling, because I
Mhm.
used to just write it out, like what I wanted. And honestly, it just comes down to, and boiling down to, really believing what the word of God says about me. And
Mhm.
that when I started repeating, I am the head and not the tail, believe it or not, my father thought I had lost my mind. He came over to my house one day, and I had taken 3x5 cards and put all of these affirmations all over them, and they were all over. They were in my bathroom, all over my room. If you came over, you would have, I mean, there wasn't a space that you could walk into that there weren't affirmations all over. When I was going through the weight loss journey, I had them on my refrigerator, I had them on my mirror, I had them in my room, on my door, because Tanisha, I had to retrain my mind to make sure that was the first thing I saw in the morning and the last things I saw at night were positive affirmations and reinforcement and like reassuring myself that I am the head and not the tail, that I am fearfully and wonderfully made, because I had to kind of like trick myself into believing what was true about me all the time.
I love it. So, and that's a strategy, right? You got to trick yourself to believe it before you actually become it. Yeah. And so when I was talking in session 1 before I started interviewing, I was talking about how when you get permission or access to these spiritual powers, like tricking yourself to be something that you're not until you really start to believe it. Point number 1 is, you know, in order to become that leader that we inspire for the people who partner up with us to be, is number 1, coaching that younger version of yourself. And you do always talk about who you used to be. And I love that. And then what I said was, when you get access, Nina, when you get access to the spiritual powers, like tricking yourself and those affirmation cards, when you get access to such valuable information, number 2, which what takes me to the walking to millions that we're talking about, is your body should represent the wisdom inside of you.
Let me tell you something. The young lady that was just here in my home, when I got up to go, because I needed to go get Paige from the bus stop, she said, "You look like health."
That's right.
She said, "And you look like wealth."
That's right.
She said, "You might not have a whole lot of money." Like she said, she said, "But you look like health."
That's right.
"And you look like wealth." Yes. She said, "I want to look like you."
That's right. Which take me to point number 2. With these 10,000 steps, there is a requirement for people who have the wisdom to look a certain way, right? And the 10,000 steps to walking to millions, the reason I love it, I want to talk about your career outside of just the 1 million, but the reason I love it is the caliber of women that are holding each other accountable, right? What has the 1 million, the 10,000 steps a day? Talk to me about the experience. How have you been enjoying the challenge? What is it like?
So I am active, right? And you know, every day I was going to the gym already, right? But, and I know that, you know, for people, there's always a better. There's always good, better, and best.
That's right.
And I shared with you that I didn't have body dysmorphia or anything like that, but I still didn't, for me, look the way I wanted to look.
Right.
So the 10,000 steps actually came at a time where I was making the attempt to one up my own self. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was challenging myself to become another version of myself, a better version of myself already. So at first I was like, now we got to be on these watches with each other. Like, are we serious right now? Like, do it take all that? And I'm telling y'all the truth. Like, that's how I felt. And then, but I talk to myself like that all the time.
That's right.
The first person you got to be honest with is yourself.
100%. 100%.
And I was like, and as I'm having this conversation with myself, I said, yeah, it take all that, Nina. And it take all that and more. And more. Because you keep saying Nina Angela Bassett.
That's
you want to play Angela Bassett. Well,
That's
what do you think Angela Bassett at 60 years old? What do you think her regimen is like?
That's
right? So after I got over myself, it only took me about 10 minutes, if that, maybe even 5, right? Because I don't stay there long.
Right.
I'm going to always accept the challenge.
That's right. Really. That's right. That's right.
After first 7 to 10 days, my body was hurting so bad. No, for real. My eyelids was hurting. My feet were hurting. I was hurting everywhere. Like I was like, I don't like this. This
Right.
is so good. But what I know is that there's nothing good in the comfort zone.
That's right.
Nothing is good.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, as soon as we got past like day 10,
Yeah.
I started feeling regular again. Like I started, because in the first 10 days or so, I was exhausted by the time y'all, you know, I can hang. I can hang. At least I could.
Right. Yeah.
But starting the 10,000 steps honestly was a good thing, because it forced me to rest my body.
That's right.
You need rest.
That's right.
So it when I say that it was like in totality, I feel that I am more creative. I know,
girl, me too.
To create the level of creativity, the clarity, the clarity, the time that I get with God. My prayer life has increased in a way that it is drawing people to me. I mean, I just closed a $600 sale.
I was going to show him. It popped up on my Apple Watch while I was recording. Yeah.
I mean, one person. And that's the kind of things. And I'm having those kinds of days, like where it's like $1,000 days and $1,500 days. And then I'm like, okay, I could take the foot off the gas for the next 3 days when you have big days like that.
Right.
But ultimately, for me, beyond, I see what's happening in the physical, but I also see what's happening in the spiritual.
That's right.
And the two go hand in hand.
I said
3 John 2 says that we should prosper and be in good health, but it also says even as our soul prospers. And so in this season of walking, we're not going to stop at 100 days, but the goal is to get to 100 days.
That's the celebration point. We're going to meet in Miami. Yeah.
I told the Lord that I wanted more spiritual awareness in this.
Right.
Because guess what? All of that earning more money and stuff.
Right.
I have more wisdom, more knowledge, more understanding, more compassion, more favor, more of those things. The money is gonna byproduct
chase you.
It's gonna chase you, and that's what I've been praying to God for in this season. And I've asked God to make me more spiritual discerning, more spiritual aware. And I believe that. But I can see chiseling happening in my physical body, and I can see it happening in the spiritual.
So we were talking about the 1 million step challenge and the walking to millions. It's not the physical shows, but it's the mental. People who deal with depression, anxiety, walk and see how clear you'll get. Walk and see how calm you'll become. Walk and see how much peace you'll access. And this is my favorite part, Nina. Because of the type of people, not just women, that we have, they hold you accountable. Accountability changes everything. There has been plenty of days that if I knew that people couldn't see what I was doing and I didn't have to screenshot what I did, I wouldn't have done it.
Well, and the crazy thing is, we don't even have to screenshot it for real, because we literally can all just do like this and say, oh, okay, she is 0 right now, huh? Oh, together. No, seriously, like the fact that that's why I don't even press with the screen, because you can see.
You can see. Absolutely.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
My God, because God can see.
He can see it. You cannot pretend.
Yeah. You can't pretend. Oh, you got all in your heart. Yeah. Oh, but you want me to bless you, daughter?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, I can see. Get it together.
Yeah.
Put it together. Get it together. So that connection.
Yeah, it's insane. It's powerful. And when I was looking at the walking statistics about sitting being the new smoking cigarettes, when you walk 10,000 steps, 8 to 10,000 steps every day, it decreases your mortality rate by 33%. 33%. And when you talk about African American women leading in heart disease, this movement is bigger than us. It's bigger than us. And I do really see, with all the crazy stuff that's going on in the world right now, industries changing and all this kind of stuff, one thing that I believe can hold true is people using the 1 million kit and walking 10,000 steps.
I just actually got another text message right before we started. Somebody asking me for the 1 million kit. I keep them made up. So it's just easy and
Yeah.
just say, hey, Paul,
I see that. I see that 10 years from now. Because
yeah.
when you gonna stop walking?
Never. You know, Stanisha, I've been I changed what I'm looking at on Instagram, especially. I'm Instagram is where I'm kind of like living right now.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I am looking at, and actually like when I'm looking at different profiles, is women that are 70 and older that are physically fit. They're lifting weights.
Yes.
There's a 72-year-old African American woman here in Georgia that owns
I
a
know
gym.
exactly who you're talking about.
I want to go meet her.
That's
Know,
right.
because I want to be around
That's right.
women that I desire to emulate.
That's right.
As I am aging.
That's
And
right.
I have been praying and asking God that that He would give me beauty for ashes. It's been my prayer all my life.
That's right.
That
That's
I
right.
never want to look like what I've been through.
That's right. That's right.
And so every day, all I see before me is women
all in the
that are like
subconscious.
lifting weights at 80, lifting weights at 90, and walking up mountains and hills
Absolutely.
at 90 and 80 and 70, because that is what I desire.
That's right.
I want my grandchildren or my great-grandchildren, when they want to go to the amusement park, they don't have to push my mom around.
That's right.
In a wheelchair.
That's right.
My mom can walk and keep up with you.
That's right.
Just like the rest of them. I don't want to be a burden.
That's right.
To my children and my family.
That's
I
right.
want to enjoy my older age.
Right.
And so if I can just walk, like just walk.
And Nina, I was doing some studying about this Japanese doctor. Do you know that walking or a light jog and walking is better than running?
It is.
Yep, better than it. So we just hit jackpot. What you say?
It's the best exercise.
It's the best.
When it comes to first of all, the young lady that was here was saying that she gained all this weight because she's sedentary. She works from home. Well, when you work from home and you gain a lot of weight, when you gain a lot of weight, you are depressed.
That's right. Yes, you are.
Well, if you go walking, the vitamin D, just the vitamin D. So not just the physical act, but being outside and getting the vitamin D immediately is healthier for you and your brain.
100%.
So there's so much more to this. But let me keep it real. I don't know if I could get through these 10,000 steps every day without my 1 million kids. Like, this is a must. I'm drinking this on my way to the trail. I am actually sad if it's raining and I can't walk.
Exactly.
I want to be outside.
Yes, outside. Exactly.
I'm even looking into now, like, what gear I need to wear when it does get cold, so that I can feel outside in the vitamin D, getting my vitamin D, the crispiness of the air will force me to move faster.
That's
to get done sooner.
That's right.
But this is how my day starts. It is literally how my day starts.
That's right.
Without this, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, I would not have a frame of mind or the energy to complete the task.
I love it.
So this is the way. This one is important. It's life-changing. And then adding that to the 10,000 steps. You know what I would say to any woman that's watching now? I mean, any person. Let me stop acting like this is just for women, because it's not. We've got men that are walking. This steps in every day.
Right, exactly.
Trey, they're all getting steps in every day. However, I want to talk to us sisters. And the reason why, ladies, and I'm saying sisters, whether you are Caucasian, Asian, Latino, Indian, it doesn't matter, right? The reality of it is we take care of everyone and everything else, and we do not care about ourselves, right? The majority of us don't. And I'm not talking about self-care, going to get your nails done. No, I'm talking about making our health a priority. I don't have any heart issues. I don't have cardiovascular issues. I don't have any degenerative issues, but I don't want them either. And so what we're doing, and you're younger than me, but what we're doing is we're being proactive so that we don't have to be reactive.
That's right.
And even this elevate, the fact that this is an adaptogen. and it teaches our body to adapt and not react. So I'm super grateful that you challenged us all to get out there and do the 1,000 steps, because you challenged us, and any good coach will, right?
That's right.
Us, and now, y'all, it's literally a way of life, because after 21 days, it really does become a habit and a lifestyle.
It does.
Yeah,
it does. So I got one more question for you. So you a successful businesswoman, you got all this stuff going on. What are your goals and dreams now? Just talk to us. And what I want you to do is I'm going to give you the floor. And I want you to talk to the ladies about where you're headed in your life over the next 5 years. You've conquered a lot of things. And also, what word of advice or inspiration would you give them as they're deciding if they're going to join into this accountability group with us or not? Give them some of your wisdom. I don't want to tell you what to say, but just speak to them for about 5 or 6 minutes. And then we also want to know what big plans you have for your future.
Awesome. Well, thank you. So, number one, it's so crazy. I am a part of an anthology. I've got a part in a book that's coming up called Healing Voices, and it's talking about my life beyond the chair of being a hairstylist. And so that's like the very new thing that's on the horizon. We've been working on that all summer long. And what I'm really excited about is literally starting the Get Fit Church movement. Right. Ooh. And I believe that is getting ready to be super humongous because I know that the kingdom needs help. We can see it all around us. And I'm talking about from the pastors on down. And so that is another big movement that's you'll see that very, very soon. It's already trademarked and domain is bought, so none of y'all can take it. But Get Fit Church is coming soon, right? To a church near you. What I am really, really excited about is I took the 1 million challenge, the 1 million steps, the 10K steps a day very seriously, and I incorporated it with prayer. And I really have a desire to see 1 million people walking and praying. And so along with adding that to our, that's incorporated in our mission, you will see faith-based merch and gear that's coming out, so that while you're walking, you can represent Christ, right? While you're walking, along with your favorite scriptures, and you're going to begin to see all of that stuff on the horizon as well.
Oh, these are t-shirts and sweatshirts. No,
yes, there'll be gear and merch that are all faith-based with your favorite scriptures on it. We're going to pray and walk. Right? Walk and pray. You'll see, right? You'll see all of that merch coming. So we're working on some stuff, right? We've been busy.
I know you are. Yeah.
She know when I get quiet, I'm working on something, right? And the prayer journals that will be coming out along with your 30-day affirmation books as well. So there's a lot of stuff that just give us some, it's coming, right? But bigger than anything else, why? And I said it on a live this morning. Why is it so important to join this mission and movement? Because proximity is everything.
That's right.
And the environment that you're in is everything, and who you are connected to is very important. As a matter of fact, it's so urgent in this season. Anyone who's being sensitive in the spirit can see that there's a big need right now for the body of Christ to come together. And we right now, if we don't unite together as one, there's so much more power when we unite together. I'm watching even group economics take place, right? A lot of my friends have come together, and they've come together to form massive groups where they're actually assisting different businesses with group economics. And I am believing that is something that I foresee with us, even in the 1 million mission, that we're going to be able to assist people when it comes to group economics, right? We're going to be able to assist people with not going through foreclosure, with not being able to pay their rent because they're behind in their rent. Because I just watched literally a friend of mine raised $210,000 in 5 days.
I saw it.
Because of group economics. And people don't understand that we've already met the required number. It only took 2 of us.
That's right.
Only 2 of us to agree.
That's right.
Anything in prayer.
That's right.
Prayer. So what I want people to understand about where we are right now is that you need to understand that we got to put aside our ego.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to put aside our agendas.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to put aside the pre-made notion of what we expect, these expectations that we have of people, that we've got to move in love and grace.
That's
and
right.
I believe the Lord's report. I don't believe the report that we have to struggle or suffer right now.
Right.
I was reading in the Motivation Manifesto today, where it says there isn't enough time. There isn't enough resources. The economy is bad. No one's making it anymore. There's not enough to go around. There are cries of those blind to the universe's abundance. All of those who have won major life victories have found that all the reservoirs needed to win are within.
That's right.
And that most knowledge needed to succeed is acquired after we take action. So if I was to leave you with anything today, I would remind you that everything that you think that you need is already within. And the environment that you are in when you're with us ladies, right? It ain't perfect because we're not perfect people. It's not supposed to be.
That's right.
So here's what we do. We got your back. See, you come into this environment, we just gonna trick you to believe that you really are a bad Bama Jamma, right? If you're a girl, we really gonna trick you to believe that you are the king that you really are. We're really going to trick you into believing that you can live the royal abundant life that is your birthright. So don't judge off of these pre-made notions of what you think this is. All this is a group of people who want to love you with the love of Christ. We really just want to see you be the best version of yourself. We're not competing with you. We really want you to succeed. And if it's something that we can do to help you, I don't believe in all that. Well, let me rub up against you and get that.
Yeah.
No. There's a word that one of us might say.
That's right.
There's a prayer that one of us might pray.
That's right.
There's an action that one of us might take that could be the very word, the prayer, the action that could totally change your life. Wow. So I would say to you today, choose life. But don't just choose life. Choose it more abundantly. And with the mission, you'll have your life more abundantly. She loves when her friends get all we're thinking in the presence of God. She like, hold on, Lord.
Hey, that is amazing. So real quick, and we're going to end this session. You've got a merch line coming out that is Get Fit Church. What is it called? Get Fit Church. And it's the spiritual fitness theme line then, right? Scriptures. Yes. Now, I know you do have a journal, if I'm not mistaken. What is the website for them to connect with you? A lot of people are trying to get their social medias together. I think you just crossed 70 or 80,000 followers on Instagram.
I'm actually getting ready to cross 90,000.
Excuse me. Okay. 90,000 social media followers, guys. That is incredible. It's hard to get your followers on Instagram. You have to really be good for people to want to look at your content. And so you're doing one-on-one coaching right now too. I think it's open. What is that like? Are they just going to the website?
They can go to the website and book it. It's ninamorver.com. Or they can ninamorver.com. Just my first and last name. Morver is Moorer. And what you can do is if you want to just book a call so that we can kind of assess your needs, right? Before you go, don't just pick something because you might have a bigger need than what you see, right? But what I do know is that when you've done a thing, you can teach a thing, right?
That's right.
I know how to help you get fit. I know how to help you get your social media accounts fit too. I'm helping a lot of people right now. See, now when you join in the mission, you get a piece of that. You get a lot of that.
You get a little bit of it.
A little bit of that, right? Yeah, but if you want the full gamut, you got to go to that website, ninamorver.com. You can go in there, and when you subscribe, you're actually going to get a free gift from me, right? You're going to get a free journal. However, I want you to check it out because I am selling the content creation course on there. As well, and you'll see the merch dropping on the website as well as the affirmation and prayer journal, which will be in. I just see us, Stanisha, You know, I've got some friends that I've been lining up with, and I see us hosting a prayer conference coming soon. I think 2025 is getting ready to be alive.
Oh, yeah. The sky is the limit in 2025. I love it. Well, listen, thank you so much, Miss Nina Moore, for jumping on here, guys. This is session number 1. No better way to open up this empowerment summit. We're really excited for everyone who's partnered with us that are ready to walk to millions of dollars, guys. And it's not just physical, it's spiritually as well. So, Nina, thank you so much. We appreciate you, girlfriend. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, girl. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.